ready. You ready, Brenda? All right, y'all ready?
Ready.
We'll call the meeting to order at 7 p.m. All members are present. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Flags over here.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father God, thank you for just allowing us to join tonight. And Father, we just ask that you be with each and every one of us. Father, we ask that you keep each and every one of us healthy throughout this time. I know we've got a few sicknesses going around town. Just ask that you be with each and every one of us. Father, we just ask that you keep us on task tonight and let us to deliberate city business and make the best decisions for the citizens of Bartlett. In your name we pray. Amen. Yeah. All right. There was no citizens communication. A workshop agenda, review, discuss, and provide direction. Changing this up a little bit, guys, where we can kind of move things along a little quicker. So items 1, 2, and 3 here, we'll discuss presentation, discussion, and review of the city administrator fiscal year 2024 work plan. Ms. Myra?
Yes. So as the mayor mentioned, these are set up to a workshop to kind of help provide guidance and direction to staff so that as we move things along, we can bring them to you once, if not twice, and that's about it. And then we can just take action. So the first thing that I have here is one thing that's kind of in my contract is an annual evaluation. So the way that I think that would work best is if I had a work plan to work from. So what you see before you is kind of some of the things I've already started and heard from you all and then incorporated into that work plan. Now this is still missing a few things that I'm working with. One, we'll have city secretary here. We'll also have the municipal, the utility clerk or court, municipal court, and then the utility billing. We'll have in-process improvements there that we'll also want to include. But this is kind of comprehensive of what I've got so far for myself in administration, development, and then also with the public works. So I wanted to get your feedback tonight and then see if there's anything I missed that I need to include. And then hopefully, around whenever my evaluation is next year, we can kind of look at this as a reference document of what we were able to accomplish, where I may have missed the mark, and then hopefully we can continue to move forward.
Is this something we could provide an update on quarterly or something, or what was your plan?
That could be exactly what happens if you'd like. We could do a quarterly update.
I know one thing that has come up in the past that we'd like to see is in packets is a financial report.
Mhm.
So I know that's something that you've got on here that you're working on as well. So
Yes, I was able to provide somewhat of a financial report, I think in the last meeting, or the one where we had, yes, the last meeting, the first meeting of the month. And so I'll plan on keeping that moving forward. And then the hope is with the accountant, when we can bring that on, then we'll have a more accurate statement of accounts where you'll see a true quarterly report, which is mandated by law to provide to you all.
great. Any other comments, questions?
And then I just see on here limb pickup plan.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that cutting the limbs? Are we doing that before winter gets here? Or this is just picking up what we already
This is
got?
picking up what we already got. So
Okay.
there's a plan in place already that's being worked on getting limbs picked up. And so it's going to be a slow process for us, but
Sure.
during the downtime, our public works team is picking those up. Now, hopefully, as we've discussed next year, whenever this does come again, if it does, we'd probably want to set a policy around limbs. So, the size that we'd probably pick up, whether it's 3 cubic yards, 5 cubic yards, cutting them down to size, bundling them up. So that way it's easier on city staff. Whenever they do pick them up, it's kind of a grab and go, and they can have a trailer just going down the street, and it's more efficient. And any others, they can take to the brush pile, which we open.
Oh, I see
Twice a
you've
month.
got Tree trimming plan over here.
Yes.
Already in back, okay. I got you.
Good deal. I like it.
This is something we can add to as things, as we see that we need to add to it as we go along. So,
Yes.
okay.
And this is stuff that you're also working with the other department heads.
Yes. So what you see kind of under a department, that's what they're in charge of doing. So we're meeting once a week and keeping it going, moving slowly, but working on every single thing.
Okay.
Feel bad for Steven. He's a little overloaded, but we'll get there.
Yes. All right, anything on that? It's just discussion, presentation? I think you'll bring that back quarterly as things go on. Bless you, sir. All right, item 2, presentation, discussion, review of the city council's draft governance policy.
So this is something after some of the future items that came up was the social media policy. And then something that a lot of councils have is a governance policy. I didn't know whether or not this council had a governance policy. So this is a draft of what it could be. It essentially just lays out how the council interacts with one another, how they interact with staff, how they interact with the city administrator. It's just a really good policy to have, especially when issues arise. Essentially, the mayor is the mediator, is the kind of bringer of all. And so this would be something that I think would reinforce that, and happy to answer any questions you have. Some things that are important to note with news media relations, council or city administrator are the person who can speak to the news media. The only person that can really speak on behalf of the council is the mayor. If there was something where a council member were to speak on behalf of the council, it'd have to be something that was already voted on where there was a majority support, because the council does not speak for one, we speak for all.
In other words, if I had something bad to say about Weaver over there, you'd have to be the mediator.
I'm sure you can tell into his face, but
I'm just gonna tell y'all to go in the backwoods and figure it out. I would just recommend on this is also digging a little deeper and making sure that we don't already have a ordinance in place, a policy in place. That way we're not adopting another policy on top of a policy without amending the original policy. That'd be only my recommendation on it. Council can have their say so.
Now, the continuing education here, is that something that we just kind of see ourselves, or that's something that we can kind of look at collectively to see what it is we'd like to do for continuing ed?
So I'd say collectively would be best. Every year there's the Texas Municipal League Conference. That's a very good one where there's a lot of courses, sessions that they offer. It's geared towards mayors and councils. So you'll see the sessions are more curated towards that audience. And then the other benefit is that you get to learn from other mayors and councils on what they're doing and how they handled things. So then you get to establish relationships with other elected officials. But there's also other trainings that the TML offers that I would recommend council attend. So there's some for, first elected council members. That would be a really good one. It goes into most of the bare bones of things that Open Meetings Act, Freedom of Information Act, and then a few others that are just really key and I believe requirements for elected
To
officials.
include ethics and things like that as well.
Yes.
Isn't that like the one we did online?
I think that was about the,
We did two. One was the open records.
That's right.
I think you got 3 months to take that.
one was ethics, I believe, in that as well.
I think so.
Has everyone taken classes here that they've needed to take?
Open Meetings Act.
Ethics is something else.
And I just remember it was two, that were just the two, just the two. And each time you get elected, you have to always do it again.
And then once you take those classes, if you could email the certificate to the city administrator to keep on file, because people do actually ask for those. Keep everybody out of hot water.
Now, I have mine. I mean, where they are, here, I don't know.
If y'all have a digital file, please send to me so I can keep record. So I'll verify whether or not we have a policy similar to this one.
I know a lot of the employee handbook has a lot of this stuff in it.
Mhm.
So it's just something we want to cross-reference and make sure that we're just not overriding one with the other. I'd rather amend it than I would override.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
My question is, so currently we are a mayor council form of government. Are we gonna put council manager form of government on the ballot?
It has to be voted on, right?
I thought y'all voted that to have a city administrator. No, they never did? Okay.
So
I think a city manager,
city manager,
the
we got to
size
vote.
of our town, because of the size, if we wanted a city manager, that has to go before a vote of the
Okay.
citizens.
Because we're less than 5,000 people.
Yeah.
So we'd have to go to a vote to change the type of government.
Well, you'd have to be 5,000 to go to home rule, and we're not there yet. So that's the council manager form of government. I don't necessarily, I'd have to look into it. There's council manager based on home rule, and then there's council manager just in the way that you have a city administrator that runs the day-to-day, and then it's semantics at some points, but then there is differences. So we'll have to,
I'm lost, which doesn't take much to get me lost, but don't you run the day-to-day?
yes.
What is it you do? In the blue shirt.
Me?
Yeah, what is it you do?
I do whatever y'all ask me to do.
Take phone calls at 2 in. Is that you?
I assumed y'all had already adopted some kind of form of it because y'all had a city administrator. Where it's mayor council, think of city of Houston.
Mhm.
Although there are over 5,000, they have a mayor council form of government where the mayor is the day-to-day CEO.
Okay, let me ask you, do you remember that far back when Bobby Hill was mayor and Chris, what, didn't he call himself city administrator?
It was, what it is, it started with, before Chris, it started with our interim city administrator, and I can't think of his name right now, he used to get housing too. But then it was Chris Hill with Ivy being mayor. What it is as a city administrator, you can assign any duties you want to your city administrator. And then there are duties that the mayor has by statute. Now, to go to a council mayor form of government, up on the local government code, what it states is 20% by petition of the citizens, or the council can vote, say, we want to go to a council manager form of government, and then we have to put it on the ballot. For our citizens to say, yes, you can do that.
So
Then
what
you
are
take
we
all
right
power
now?
from the mayor to the city administrator.
So what are we right now?
We are a,
Type A.
per what our previous
Yeah.
ordinance.
So there's type A, there's type B, and then there's home
But we're
rule,
type A.
type C. Yes,
Type A home rule.
and then there's, it
We're not
gets,
on the-
no, we're not, we're type A, general law.
General law, sorry.
And then, so like Gerald's type A, general law,
Okay.
they have the same form of government where it's council manager. So that's why I assumed y'all were, because y'all have a city administrator, so I assumed y'all were council manager.
If you go back and look at the city administrator ordinance, which we have that, it states what the city administrator does. And then what happened was we had another mayor that came in, James Grant, that came in and said, hey, wait a minute, I'm the mayor. These are my duties. I'm taking my duties. These are all my duties.
Mhm.
And you can do administrative aspect, financial, you can do this, but like budget still falls, and that's why Grant questioned the mayor, or the one that was
Right.
the council, saying, hey, you're the budgeting officer, you submit the budget.
That's right,
So
that's right.
it was given certain duties, saying, this is what you do, and there's an ordinance there
Mhm.
just for city administrator. And then you look at the ordinances, it laid out like it laid out that the mayor is the department head of the department heads.
Mhm.
It lays out what the mayor duties are. And so that's how we got it.
Yeah.
It was just gave some duties to help him out, to say, hey, I need you to do this, but I still want control of my city.
And that's where we are.
That's where we are
So what do you call it? Mayor
now.
council?
Mayor council.
Mayor council, okay. All right, just want to make sure about that.
And we had, I mean, doing been here 60 years, I mean, all these meetings. Dean Rome, the social media policy, that was a Dean Rome error. That was a Dean Rome policy because of people posting on social media. There was also a budgeting, pretty much a financial policy. There was a governance policy. I have a sample copy that came from Will, that was our attorney at that point in time. I do have that sample copy of all that. I try to keep all these different.
Was
things.
it adopted?
That's what I'm trying to find. That's why this
Okay.
was adopted, the social media policy.
And the fiscal and budgetary, I haven't seen one yet, so if you have a copy, that'd be helpful. Because then
And all that-
we can send it to our bond counsel and our financial advisor, because I don't even know if they have it.
I mean, I just have to find minutes, but the problem is I can't find minutes past 2020 online.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it was two different websites. We had the old website, that
Yes.
was not good. And then we have the new website. He did a great job with the new website. It's great. But I can't find the old website to be able to
Well,
pull all
for a
these
fact
old
check.
minutes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I brought Joseph, I don't know, before he left, 2-3 boxes of these.
Agendas.
They're
Well, I'm
over
not
there,
sure.
they're 2014 and 15, over there in that box.
Over
Yeah, they're all scattered throughout, so that's the hardship.
So we probably need to research that, is what it sounds like, and make sure we know what we're doing and adopt moving.
Yeah, this is why this is just a discussion item.
Yeah.
None of these are for action, so
Yeah.
it's helpful because the files I have, I think are the only recent files. And then everything else, like the chief said, there's printed copies somewhere. The question is where? And they're kind of scattered all throughout. Like there's some up here, there's some in that building, there's probably some in the building across the street, there's probably some there. They're kind of just all everywhere. No one's ever kind of put them all together. And then the goal, and I think I have this under city secretary, file retention, scanning, and storage. We need to find all of those things and start scanning them so that then that way, if someone loses a box, well, at least we know we now have a digital copy that states it.
I do remember Jesse bringing all those in to Joseph before he left. And Joseph had all those boxes that you brought in. So, and I guess you know where they
They're
are.
over there by those books.
Okay.
Any other comments, questions, directions? Excuse me. It's a good start. I think we just do a little tidy up, a little
Yep.
homework, and work on it a little bit, and then bring it back.
One last thing backing up. On the limbs, we go back and we look at, I think I brought this to the council before. If we look at our cost policy, contract, which is never been released, but our contract states that they pick up brush.
With
If
Alcossin,
it's bundled and it's wrapped, and they will pick it up. And that would solve a lot of the issues with the city staff that don't have the time to do it. And if they bundle it up, they pick it up.
yeah, we can look at that, make sure it's in there.
It goes to cost. Because they used to come out and do it.
Once or twice a year, they
Uh-huh.
have that big brand book.
We had a certain time of the year that that was the city administrator. They put it out in the newspaper that Clausen was coming around. They have it ready. They're coming around, and they get it at least twice a year. And
They said they don't
Clausen-
use that grapple anymore much. It sits at the back of the yard. I've asked them to donate it to the city, but haven't got a phone call back.
Well, the problem with our brush piles is everybody wants to blame it on the ice storm, but I think we all know that they've grown over the last 6 months. It's bad, good, bad, good.
Yeah.
You're not to see green leaves on it. It's not an ice storm. But it still needs to be cleaned up. It's a mess.
We were slow picking them up after green leaves.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I just need to add it. Hashtag that reminds you.
Whatever. Anything else on item 2? It's gonna be the longest meeting we've had in 3 months.
Yeah.
One item on the agenda.
Discussion though.
This is good information.
This is great. Item 3, same thing, discuss, presentation, review, the city's draft social media policy.
So I've printed the original, thanks to the chief. It's in front of you all.
This one.
Yep. And from what it looks like, it's kind of just the TML introductory one. And then what you have was, because I was not aware of this, you have one that I kind of created. And so I think this was something that was asked of a council member at the last meeting to bring forward. So I wanted to make sure that we did that. And so really the floor is open to you all on if this current social media policy suffices, then that's great. We've already got one. Now it's just about adhering to it. And if not, if there's changes that you'd like to see to it, then we have something else that's a little bit more robust that you can pull from and we can amend.
I think it's I mean, I've read through the one that was in the packet, and I'm coming through this one. I'm thinking it's something that you might want to really dig deep into and maybe mend the two together. So amend the original social media policy from the June 8th meeting of 2020 with add some more stuff to it from the one here that Ms. Myra has put in the packet. So,
And if there's anything particular, just let me know and we'll be sure to amend it as recommended.
I don't know if we need quite 12 pages of social media. policy.
Social media keeps growing.
I'm telling you.
Before you know, we're gonna have to add AI in here.
Yeah.
Change the sound too. It's work for you or against you real easy.
Yeah.
I think the gist of the social media policy is, as staff and then as elected officials, we represent the city all the time. Really, it's really hard to take off that hat sometimes. So just be very conscientious about what you post on social media. You're always representing the city. What you say, people may take as a statement by the city. So it's just very important that we watch what we say.
So you're saying the event page is getting mad at me, huh?
I do not have access to any event page, so I do not know.
No, you don't have.
That's like next door. You just stay away.
You give out $100 bill there from things you give too. That's not a good idea.
So this is definitely something I think we want to revisit
Mhm.
in the future. If y'all don't mind, spend a little bit of time in the next couple of weeks going through the two. The one that she handed out here, you'll see at the bottom, adopted by Bartlett City Council to the personnel policy, June 8th, 2020. So that's the one that we already do have in place.
I like the one with 3 pages.
So if you want to add anything else to it, make notes, then we'll bring it back for amendment.
And not on the agenda, but you also now have the city's Bartlett Personnel Manual. This is an outdated version. We do not have the most up-to-date. I think the most up-to-date is somewhere in a file, but we don't have the digital. This one's from 2018.
When we did this one here, I think, was it when, because Dean was complaining we didn't have anything on there?
Don't leave him alone.
We had made,
I don't remember.
It's
Yeah,
just, it's like Myra said, look, we expect the city employees to be good stewards of the city on social media in public. We're virtually, we're city employees. We're put in office by the citizens of Bartlett. We work for the citizens of Bartlett. So I would just ask, just like Myra just said, that we conduct our business on social media just as respectful as knowing that you are representing the city. Even if it's your own personal Facebook page and somebody has made you angry on Facebook.
more barbecue pictures.
it's okay to still have a Facebook page and make posts and comments. It's not okay to argue with somebody on Facebook about the city or post something vulgar or something like that on Facebook, because technically you are a representative of the city.
Oh, I know.
We can't take the hat off for elected officials. So,
I know, this time can't post barbecue pictures no more, because they get mad. My pussy look better than this.
Wrap around a $100 bill, you might not have these people back.
yes, sir.
All right. So,
Drink
yes.
your Red Bull. I know you ate your Snickers. Go ahead and drink the Red Bull.
Thank you. Y'all, that's my opinion. Y'all know I talk when I come to meetings. On this social media policy, she's 100% correct. It came from TML. That was the Barbara and Ramona's go-to TML attorney. So yes, 100% is what it came to. Now, one of the things in this policy that doesn't have is, with crime and things like that, I do post. If something happens in the middle of the night, I can tell you news crew is calling me, wanting me to stand in front of the news. It ain't that pretty, so I don't like standing in front of the news, so I was bored. So if he wants to do it, I'll let him do it.
Only if I can do my new interview.
Lord, I don't even want to
The
know.
last one, we had the police thing. So I agree 100% this needs to be changed so I can be able to do my job. And it could be a criminal out here right now. It would say I violated this, but what I did in my last contract, I was able to go out and pretty much represent my police department and talk to the news and do what I need to do. That was in my last contract. So I didn't have to go by this at that point in time. But yeah, that needs to be completely updated.
Okay, well, what this is referring to is my little fuss with them good on that page.
I don't know.
I've already apologized for them.
What are you
The
talking about?
comments have been deleted, and I've already apologized for it, and we'll delete the event page, because it just angers me. so
Here's
much.
something else that I've thought about here recently too, now that we're talking about social media and city business on social media. We've had the city government page for 2 years now. If you're not on it by now, that's your own fault, in my opinion, because we share all city business on the city Facebook page first, and then I always just share it to the hometown or the event page just to reach more people. Well, if you're on the hometown or on the event page, you've obviously seen Bartlett, Texas Municipal Government come across. And if you haven't gone and joined that page to get city notifications, then I think starting at fiscal year date, October 1, or whenever we pick a date, that we're just posting city business on the city page.
I agree.
And we're completely off the other managed pages.
I agree.
And if anybody, wants to share it, that's on them. I mean, you can share it.
I have shared, I have said to my friends, why are you not on this page? You need to get on this page. That's the first place they go, so. Yeah, I
Because-
agree with you. It needs to just be there.
And I share it across both pages just because I know that some people have been kicked off one page and some, some people aren't on the other page. But I just try to reach as many possible people as possible. But we need to start directing people to the city and to the city page. We need people to start going to that for their information and not waiting for one of us to post it on the event page or the Who Dad page or the this that page.
Only an hour ago, I put that on here, just on the hometown page and event page. Is that okay?
I think what he's saying is moving forward, we shouldn't even have to, because
They've had plenty of time to.
to sign
I
up to
understand.
join the
Join this
Facebook page.
Yeah, I understand, but, somebody's always gotta,
But we just put a notice out, starting on this date.
I think you're right.
You're gonna have to be able to give people access, such as a chief, to be able to add things to that event page without having to go through the administrator.
The
Oh, you
event
need
page?
that.
Bartlett PD has their own page
No, I'm talking about if we go through the city website.
of the city web. So the city Facebook page is the one I'm talking about.
Oh, okay,
The
I'm
municipal,
sorry.
the Bartlett, Texas Municipal Government page.
Okay.
That's the one that, by now, it's been out there 2 years. That's where I go and make a post on there, Myra goes and makes a post on there first, and then we always go and share it across the boards.
Yeah.
We don't need to share it across the boards. Because if you miss it on one, we've had this happen, it doesn't upload to one for some reason. Well, why didn't you upload it over here? Why didn't you blah, blah, blah? Okay, here, we'll fix that. We're only gonna upload it one place.
Now, are we able to share that on our page, like our personal
What's the
page?
point?
Huh?
We're gonna stop doing that.
Okay, we're not gonna share. Okay,
And now if the citizens want to get out there and share it, share away, citizens.
okay.
But we're not
As a
obligated.
council, if you share it, that's just a place for them to attack.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
Absolutely.
so we wouldn't be obligated to share it on private.
It's on the municipal
Private group
page and that's
pages.
it.
What would it take to get that notice and put on the utility bills? Should be-
We can put it on utility bills.
You don't necessarily have to put notice out. It's not like this was ever anything that y'all took action on. I think it was just a practice we started to reach
Well, I
better
think-
I
audience.
know, but if we're gonna go through it like that, and it's gonna be our information page, let's let them know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we put a notice out and just let them know. I mean, it's simple to
Put a sign
just,
on the front door over
it's
there.
simple to go to the Bartlett municipal page and just hit like, boom, then all of a sudden, boom, guess what? You're following. That's
I was just trying to reach more people, but I get what you're saying. When you share it,
They're gonna attack you,
and they're just somebody just coming after you. Yeah, you're right.
and human nature is gonna make you flare up. You can't help it, because they're gonna attack you, because that's what they're wanting.
I knew better. I knew better. It just hit wrong. It just completely hit wrong. And I was, my cat and dog were looking at me from, I was up on the ceiling. I mean, and I knew I was
I
wrong.
can't get on those pages.
I knew I was wrong. And so I deleted it.
But
So we'll work to find a way to promote the social media page and utility bill inserts and then other ways.
Then they'll just put a sign on the front door.
yeah, we'll put a sign on the front door. We can put it on the utility bills and we can post it on, we can make a post on the city municipal page and then we can share that across the boards
For a certain amount of time.
for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other night.
Then you're
when the-
ripping the Band-Aid off on this date
We
and
told you, here it is.
you're on
So the
top.
other night, when the fire happened, Melissa was messaging me, and I said, get on this page. Get on this page, that's where the information's coming from, the city site. She didn't know anything about it. And so then she was
BS.
telling,
I call BS.
she was telling
She
other
didn't get her
people,
head out of the
get
sand.
on this site, you know?
We've also seen an increase in just because of the fire. A lot of people since then have liked the page, which is good.
Okay, okay.
It went, yeah, it
Traffic
went like
through the
this.
roof.
So would it be safe to say October 1st? That can be a good time to
I think that's.
do this transition.
That's this weekend.
Yes.
Gives them
Oh,
time.
God. No way.
It is this weekend.
Wow.
Maybe November.
What, November
We
1st?
all know it's coming, because it's all, it's down.
Yeah, I mean, I think October
Fall is
first is fine.
I was like, do people really need much of an?
We're down to 101. Fall's here, guys. Come on.
Yeah, really.
Because I guarantee you,
The hometown page went up.
you
by
could go up
600
and down the streets with his,
because of that
with
fire.
his horn, telling people
I'm
up and down
sure
the street, and
everybody's
they're
calling
still
me.
gonna come back at you and say, I
There's
didn't
information I'm
know
gonna
that.
tell you, because I'm not
I
down
didn't
there.
know that.
I'll tell you.
That's why we gotta keep on promoting Code Red too.
I don't see that.
Yep.
on
Yeah, where a lot of people say,
Code
I
Red.
ain't got it. I'm like,
Yeah,
You've
that's
been for
another
years.
thing. Code
I'm
Red.
trying to keep politics off.
And the website has like
More than one-
all of it on there, so
Yeah.
we can continue to promote
But
that
I
too.
would wonder if Alice or someone had enough time to go
I mean,
into
you will, well, they
the
think they're with
system,
you. I
the
mean, you will, I take the
utilities,
other person off.
and
They're
just
verbally
put these
abused,
people on.
Off they go.
I don't know if you're allowed to,
Oh, you have to request it.
yeah, because they also now have to have the ability to opt out
Okay.
per law.
Okay. And you know, a lot of people may just hang up because I've learned it now, but when it calls, there's a long pause before the man speaks.
The website,
The code,
Yes.
code red, code red.
Code Red, oh, so me and the mayor,
We're both on there.
But code
and then the
red,
library board manages theirs.
Make sure that people are following the rules and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'll delete, we'll stop comments or we'll delete if anything gets on there like out of control. I
This
mean,
is you two.
That's-
managing.
They usually don't do that anywhere besides on the Fent page.
Exactly, exactly.
I mean, even on his page, they don't do it anymore because they know he'll knock them off.
You don't want to turn into a free-for-all.
Yeah. But I mean, we'll have full control over that. We're the admins, so.
Yeah, and then police has their own, and then the library board, they
We just-
manage
So who
theirs.
does the code red? You do the code
Yes.
red?
She does the code reds.
Who all, I'm the one that started Code Red and got, first year was a grant and then we started paying for it after that. Who's all on Code Red now? So if I have to put something out, who do I need to contact?
It'd be me, I believe. I don't know if the mayor has
I,
the,
I probably have an access code, but I've never done it. I think, Alice, is it Alice and you that do it?
I didn't even know Alice had it.
Alice was on there.
Alice
Alice
or?
is on there too.
It's a total of 4 at one point. I might need to still be on
I
there.
just have, Joseph's old login, honestly, so I don't even know. I'd
I
have
think
to
he
look.
created me one, but I never have got on there. I always called him at 2
And I
o'clock in the
think
morning and
Alice,
say, hey,
because
man, can you do
maybe
a code
some
red?
things happened, and she was here in
Mhm.
town, and she was requesting to come do it. And that-
Yeah, I was out of state.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I added her.
So, but it also, I think at the front, we make a paper, and when we get new residents in town, which we've had quite a few lately, when they come in to start a utility account, we can give them that piece of paper saying, Here.
You can get information.
recommend you register for Code Red notifications. That's like a reverse 911, a little brief thing on it, the link on how to do it. And here's the city's Facebook page. That's where all cities' Facebook, social media is posted.
That sounds good.
And then here's the city's website, and that's where you will find out about all meetings and blah, blah, blah.
I've always thought Code Red was a great tool. When we had the task force situation up in my neighborhood, it was really, I mean, that was impressive.
The one they sent out.
Yes.
I was in
What was that,
freaking,
what was that?
I was in Round Rock.
That guy holding his grandfather at gunpoint up there.
Oh, that one there, yeah.
Yeah, I live in a real neighborhood.
It's the ghetto up there on that side of town, I'm telling you. I was in Austin when they were, I got that Williamson County notification. I was in Austin and I was like, it's an everyday occurrence around here. And then my wife calls me. She's like, did you just get something? And I was like, so then all of a sudden my phone just started blowing up. Everybody from Bartlett. I'm like, oh man, I gotta go, boss. This is in Bartlett. I gotta go.
Hey, did you get an alert last night? Jim called me and said, Mom, is everything okay? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he said, it came across his radio that there was a tornado at 47 and 1105. It didn't go off on your phone?
There was an ugly cloud out there, but I don't think it was a tornado.
It didn't even rain here.
I told
Not even-
him, I said, I've been to the door
See what they got going
57,000 times and
on.
there's not a drop of rain.
I didn't get any.
Long side sail over.
Yeah.
I didn't get any notices last night.
Okay, thank you, Liz.
Back to business. Squirrel. So does that give you some stuff about the social media policy also?
Mhm.
Read up on it next couple of weeks, is that right?
Yeah, you just better be careful. I'm watching you.
Everybody's watching.
I'm gonna post all the brisket.
I see brisket on the fire over there. I'm headed over. All right, moving on. Consent agenda, items number 4 and 5, consideration and possible action to contract TMD, that's Texas Metering Device, for meter testing in the amount not to exceed $3,000. And item number 5, consideration and possible action to contract Eagle Eye Consulting and Construction LLC for a manhole replacement and sewer tap on Brook Street in the amount of $18,040. Those quotes are here in your packets.
Yep.
We just did this consent agenda items.
So we just make a motion.
Motion to approve
Make
the,
one motion or two motions.
It depends on whether or not you want to pull an item or not, but yes, it could be one motion to approve on
Anybody
consent.
need to talk about it? Anybody want to talk?
Texas Metering Device is the company we're gonna,
Still covered.
Go ahead.
real
We
quick,
don't necessarily have to do the manhole right now. If you guys, it needs to be done.
is this the one in the field or is this the one that needs to be tapped?
The one in the field that we've already bypassed.
So we had a manhole collapse in the field out here on the corner of Brook and French Street. It collapsed. Who knows how long it had been collapsed? Guys found it. There's a whole bunch of debris piled on top of it. We dug it up, removed all the manhole, and basically just put a 10-inch pipe? It says a 10-inch pipe coming through, and we just put a piece of 10-inch pipe in there, 2 couplings, and then the 6-inch it was dumping into it it's now just dumped in with a clean out.
Is that the one we need to have fixed up before they build that road around it?
No, it's in the
That's
field,
not
it's
the
not
one
in the
on the
road.
Huh?
It's not in the road.
It's
out-
behind
It's behind the field, isn't it?
It's
When
behind
you
the
make that
fence.
curve,
Yeah,
it's going to have like 30, 40 feet off the road, isn't it?
What happens if we don't-
That belongs to the city, but somebody put a fence into their property, isn't it?
It does need to be replaced at some point. But right now, it's not leaking, it's fine, it's working fine. Maybe we could buy some time if we wanted to save the money for something else at this point.
We're not doing this, so this isn't part of that. And the tap right there on Brook Street where that was open forever, we told it was too deep for the guys.
Yeah, the tap was like $6,000.
Is that part of it?
It is part of that 18.
And then the other tap down at Stone Pack Lane, so that's not part of it.
No.
I would almost revisit this, leave the manhole alone and get Eagle Eye and Bell and whoever else is our other one to give us the quotes on the two taps
Yes,
rather than the manhole. Because the manhole, like you say, is okay right now.
yeah, and that was my thought as well.
So let's do that. Let's pull that one out.
So the tap would be so it'd be for Brooks, and then it'd be, isn't there various taps on Stone Pack?
Sorry, isn't there what?
Various taps that need to happen on Stone Pack?
I think on Stone Pack, if you have Brook Street here and those lots are over here,
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to make one
Oh, and then run a line.
tap into the deep sewer line.
Mhm.
It's too deep for our guys to do it without the shore walls. And it's the same thing that happened down here.
Okay.
Further down Brook Street, there's a trailer that's moved in the back, and we've done everything except for the sewer tap. The guys had it dug up, but we made them cover it up because it was way too deep.
Yeah,
for
they
them.
don't have the shoring for it.
Yeah, we didn't have the shoring for it. So
Yeah, we could accept this maybe as a not to exceed the 2 taps and then go back and get revise the numbers on it.
I think we would have to have the other tap on the quote sheet to approve.
Okay.
let's pull that one out.
Can we just get all 3 of them on the quote sheet?
Damn. I mean, that's cheap.
They can do a package deal. I mean,
$11,000 for-
$11,000 you're down charges to get your equipment here.
No,
You just
exactly
do
right.
it, yeah.
Well, maybe better to get them all 3 done at the same time. It may cost us a little bit more, but it makes sense.
I mean, 11,000 for a manhole seat. That's the cheapest one I've ever seen.
I mean, that's a thought. I mean, you're gonna spend probably another $6 or $7 grand over the top of that to get the other tap made.
You're right. Let's
But
do all 3,
mobilization,
you got your stuff here.
So we can pull that item if y'all like. That'd be a motion by y'all, but you have to note the poll.
Well, he's got $1,000 in mobilization, or 964 in each one of these, so you'd save about $1,000.
So you want me to make a motion and just pull this
Well, I
out?
mean,
Cool. Pull item 5 for additional quote. That's what I would do.
yeah, I think so.
Well, I'd like to make a motion on item number 5 to, what, go ahead.
Well, motion to approve the consent agenda, pulling number 5
Motion to approve the consent agenda, pulling number 5
to seek additional quotes.
to seek additional quotes.
So Ms. Cooper made a motion to approve consent agenda item 4, but pull number 5 for additional quotes for manhole replacement taps, sewer taps.
I'll second.
Bill Weaver has seconded. All in favor? That does pass 5-0. Consent agenda passed 5-0. Pulling item 5. All right, item number 6, regular agenda item. We made it. Consideration and possible action to award a contract for professional services to MRB Group for project number 0231.23001, Bartlett Elementary TxDOT Safe Routes to School for an amount not to exceed $220,168.
So this item is a part of the Safe Routes to School, which is with TxDOT. So that's federal funding that we're getting to do that project. This would be for the preliminary engineering design. We have been given, and you'll see this in the packet, that we've been given the authority to move forward with that design, and that was needed before we could start. And so this is what was approved, was the MRB, whenever they did the bid. Y'all, I guess MRB was top ranked to do the design, and so this is the actual contract to then start design.
So guys, this is the Safe Routes to School sidewalk. We've been talking about this thing for 2.5 years. It seems like a decade now. Goes from the front door of the middle school where the Bulldog emblem is down Professor Powell all the way to the funeral home, across the street from the funeral home, and takes a left south to your mother-in-law's front yard, and on that side of the street all the way down, connects to the sidewalk in front of the post office. It's 100% grant funded. Okay, so this $230,000 or $220,000 is money covered inside the grant. It's not coming out of the city's coffers.
He says the school, maybe I'm misunderstanding. I thought it was going down to Bell Street as well.
That's phase 2 that we've
Oh,
applied for, and we haven't received anything back on that just yet.
Okay,
We're still working on phase 1, but we've already applied for phase 2,
okay.
which does go right here down Bell Street. But we're still, everybody else that got approved for this was 100% funded, blah, 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 got approved for this. Their projects have been done for 18 months, and kids been walking and riding bicycles on them for 18 months.
This has been going on for years.
This is the longest drawn out thing I've ever seen in my
And
life.
I will also note that TxDOT has told us that this project has to let by June of 24. Or we risk losing funding.
Our release.
Now, on the contract, I'm seeing a not to exceed of 214,000.
Pardon?
That's a
On the
question on it.
contract from MRB, I'm seeing a not to exceed of 214.
Yes, so
I'm
I'm going by the amount that
Look to the
TxDOT
sidewalk, go right there
stated,
in front of my window.
and so that's the reason. The state's very, I went through that training and
I'm
I've
sure
learned
they'll,
that I just need to go through whatever TxDOT says.
Okay.
And so that covers us, and because it is a little bit more, then we're fine.
We're the one funding, right? So
Yeah.
they give us more than funding.
Understood.
so it's just basically, this is just one more step of us awarding MRB at this point. And their breakdown's right here. Their breakdown's right here. So.
And they have assured me that they'd be able to get this project ready for let and construction to start in July 24.
There was gonna be lights also on 95, so they can push, stop cars, isn't it, I think?
Don't believe that they are, we have to check with them on that. I don't believe that there was anything on.
I haven't heard anything about that.
I don't believe that there was gonna be any kind of signal. If there is, I think the city would have to pay for it.
It's in the original. I think there is a lights, but
Like caution light, but I don't think it's a stop.
Sure, we'll put the pedestrian stripes across the highway.
It's something that we've mentioned to them, and so it's a conversation that we're working with them on. But it's not something that I can definitively say that we've got it included in the scope.
I would think textile would do that.
Would help.
have you been over to Granger lately? Headed out towards the cemetery? They've got the lights. That was that was the same project for the Granger. The big nice
What's been the
sidewalk.
hold up that everybody else has finished and I haven't started? What's the,
Don't get me started.
did what?
What we need to do is we need a motion on
Yes, this needs to
Yeah,
have
we need a motion to
approval.
approve MRB as our group for the contract professional services.
Well, I make a
Probably looking
motion.
at you.
Philip Weaver.
Motion that we could take the not to exceed of the 220,000 for the engineering for the Bartlett Elementary TxDOT safe routes to school.
Mr. Weaver made a motion. Jesse Linda has seconded that motion. All in favor? Carry 5-0. All right, future agenda items. All right, motion to adjourn.
Before we adjourn, Ted, what's the status on that, those young ladies that came to the meeting that were offering labor to help us with what,
We just got to set something up with them. I mean, it's something that we said that we were going to map all the brush piles first without putting out notice saying, hey, we got a group of people. That way nobody goes and starts cutting down all the cherry trees in the forest. So we just need to map it and coordinate a limb pickup and coordinate that evening for them to come do it. They wanted to do it in the evening. I was kind of hoping until it cooled down, kind of, because it's so stinking hot over the summer. But she's asked me about it again about 2 weeks ago, and they're still willing to do it. So we just need to set a date, set a map, and get the schedule.
doing part of our pole change out down there where we have to fill out the tire. We got a target date for that.
Do we,
For which one?
That pole change out down there behind the old court.
downtown?
They did mention that that one's gonna be one where we're gonna have to schedule an outage for the entire
Yeah.
city.
No doubt about it.
And so they're waiting for it to get cooler, and they have not set a date yet.
They did add some additional strapping or whatever it took to help support that one better. But yeah, we wanted to wait, it's gonna take a shutdown, we wanted to wait till it was cooler.
We got some zip ties up there.
But it's gonna be a certain, I'll tell you.
Get some black tape up there.
Broke heart on that case.
Yes, sir.
Future agenda item, somebody say this on. Two, if we can have some kind of workshop in reference to abatement of dangerous buildings and, abatement in reference. So I can pretty much provide y'all with a presentation and y'all provide me with direction I'd like for you to go. Take care of this. Second one is we talked about my contract. Can you get that back on the agenda? Appreciate it.
Hey, look, we got the same shoes.
Got some hay bros.
Huh?
What's up, bro?
Yeah. Hey, George, or whatever it is.
Anything else? Future agenda?
Won't know, so. Get to hit my friend. I make a motion to adjourn.
Ms. Cooper made a motion to adjourn.
I'll say my notes.
Thank you.
Who seconded? Shelton.
So,
We'll call the meeting at 7:51 PM. 51 minutes with good discussion. You guys are awesome. Good work. Good work, team. Timbers, how y'all?
Good.